Welcome everyone to littlefish community gathering number. I have no idea. So many now. Like what? 20, 25, 40? No, but I don't know. Sometime soon we're gonna have a new year. Like we're gonna be age 1, but we're not gonna know when. At least I won't. Oh man. So I'm gonna start off with just a short introduction about the sprints. We've been running some sprints for the past 1.5 weeks, I think. Today we just got started with our second sprint. We're gonna run it for 2 weeks. So if you're interested in some of the work that we're doing in tools of decentralized work and in ocean technologies, where we go and kind of research and create technical documentation that is helpful to others. If you're interested in that, check them out on our DWork board. But with that out of the way, I'm going to pass it on to Jem, who's got some onboarding user stories to show us.
Hi guys, I made a storyboard for littlefish onboarding. So I wanted to make it with visuals, and with the help of video soon, we will also add some voice over that. But I need your opinions in all parts of this user onboarding story. So I'm pasting the link to chat, and also I will share my screen. This is the mirror board that I'm working on, and I will move that system to our website soon. I hope it will be before the Cardano Summit, and together we will form it all the way. So when the user comes in to our Discord website or any other channels, they will see this node. Welcome, littlefish. There will be explanation like that. Littlefish is an experiment in creating highly cohesive online communities that can collectively resonate with common goals. We offer them the blue and the red pill. I think most of us already know what is that. So the blue pill turns the individual to the normal system. And in the current system, we have degrees, positions, lobbyists, capital to work, to show yourself and to be visible. In littlefish experiment, we are taking them out, and we are putting love, passion, belief, experience, and knowledge together. Your actions towards, in the current system, companies, institutes, or governments, or your company. Even you work for your company, you become a slave of your company. On the right-hand side, we have the littlefish community, yourself, and your community. Results in capital interest on the left side and common interest on the right side. All you know, we have censorship, wars, pollution, loss of diversity, and you can please add what you have in mind to here. And wrong values. With the current system, we have the doctors that don't love patients. We have vets that don't love animals. We have workers that don't love their job. Leaders who don't respect the environment. And on the right side, there are our values: better living, environmental care, open source activism. By this way, you will be able to show yourself with your values, not the degrees, diplomas, and other stuff. So I'm asking them to join the world of littlefish, and please put here your badges so people can see them here, to bring ideas to organizations products, services, events. For example, SDG events can be, or activism can be a part of that one. And with individuals highly aligned like you, no bosses, your time, you. With Ikigai, find your purpose. I added a note for Neiman here. Please, can you have the details in a post-it? Tell us what you have, offer us, negotiate, and agree. Our smart contracts will also work like that. Fill a gap in network organizations. So network organizations require social, financial, or other intellectual or experiential capitals. So everybody have different abilities, and everyone can feel some part of the network organizations to make it better. And I think our motto is that one, get visible. So it will make both the colonies and the individuals visible for everyone. And this is the starting point of littlefish. So we will get a small fee from each transaction to support SDG related network organizations. Join today. This is the end. Thank you for listening, and I'm expecting your comments.
So how would you feel if this was the onboarding user story? Does that tell our story? I think it does. Like we need to add some links in there, but what do you guys think?
I think that tells it. I think that really does tell it. I love the branching. It's like, look, this really is the choice, you know. The other stream, you know, like a contrasting. It tells a good story.
I think it's perfect. It's perfect.
Thank you, Lucas.
Draft. Cheers. It has
I will also add the picture that you sent to Discord here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Did you make it, Lucas?
The one with Ikigai.
The one with the fishes on the wall.
Oh, no. Now I see. No, I found that one on Facebook. Sorry. It was in a Bansky group, although I don't believe it's actual Bansky.
Okay.
Small question. So this is like the onboarding for individual littlefish, right? Do you think we need an onboarding for, say, other organizations who share our similar values? Like we list a set of values, right? Do you think if they wanted to work with us? Yeah.
Yes, this will be for every colony, not only for littlefish, but right now we have littlefish, and since this is a living document, it will change in time.
I think if we could, at some stage, having something like this for new other organizations would be very sweet as well. Like any of our partners to maybe tell them about us, how they can interact with us, maybe some of the Ikigai stuff we do, we can build it in. It's definitely something to explore.
And highlight the partnerships and networking possibilities, right? Initially, when Harsha asked the question, I thought, well, but since we are in a DAO type of mindset and horizontal hierarchies, maybe introducing the one is the same as introducing the group, or in sort of that line of thought. But I do think that how we can be useful to other communities may be something that we could try to go through a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I just had a question in general. Say we have so many bounties right now, right? can say an organization like Conma or Gimba Labs with their students come and pick up bounties and do the bounties, and maybe like they give like a small amount to the original organization or whatever they decide. Is that like a possibility with us right now?
Sure, why not? Pretty much anyone can come in and apply for those, as long as they produce the action as we kind of want it to be. I don't see why not. And I think that's a good way to collaborate with them as well.
Yeah,
And
it will be interesting to see how people deliver their passions one by one and earn money on them.
yeah,
In real world, passions has no value. They just your passions. But maybe you are good at it and you have a killer knowledge about it. Maybe you have a lot of documents about your passion. For me, it's AI prompting. I have a lot of documents about AI prompting. And if I bring that to money, it will be an asset for me in the future, I hope.
I'm trying to think back on how I onboarded, and it really, I think it was like one of the white papers or maybe the Miro board. But this does give like a big high level overview. And I think, for instance, with the task, there was one of the tasks that we just went over in this new sprint for Zoom calls, and I wanted to like, oh, the facilitators collective that Lucas and I are in, and is anyone else? We went through the training, and there was something that aligned with them, and it's sort of like, well, like Harsha is like, oh, do they just come in and take a task? And it's like, yeah, that seems doable, but there is like how to like tell them the story, because it's not the same as as these other things. But by using these new teal organization, new methods, we're sort of walking the walk, that they kind of, you could follow along. But this will help to kind of give the context. Is Curtis still here? He says he's all about the context, and I get it, because the context really does matter, and you fit and feel the sort of container of it, the context. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going to put us in the right direction for sure.
Curtis, go ahead.
I was just curious, is the intent with this Miro board to, once they've understood this flow and this onboarding story, that they want to start contributing to the Miro board itself?
No, they will contribute to the projects or call to actions maybe, and in the future they will also connect to the other colonies.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
We will be the only individuals that form this Miro board, and this Miro board is only for presenting here, and I will turn it to some much more visual presentation.
So this is the skeleton, but the flow of it, with the two pills, and then having the other track of how these things, it's a great, I think that the story or the essay structure is the compare and contrast. It's just like this is our difference.
I think in visual style we are explaining a million things at the same time. So people love to hear stories, and people listen, people watch, but reading is hard. So I think we need such kind of a storyboard for onboarding the new individuals, because we have about 30 or 60 seconds. So people leave the sites.
Yeah.
Please share your comments and it's whatever you can.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Özgür.
Hello, good to see you. I was trying to fix my microphone. Sorry for that. Well, this is quite clear, and this left side is touching to the things that many people hate actually nowadays. And it's good to have such kind of comparison. I was curious about the collaboration with contributing organizations. For example, we have Renaissance Institute as an example, funded for one project. We have done a few things, but the reporting things were missing. For example, it was due to the things that we had some real world problems when doing initiatives, SDG initiatives in the country, in Turkey. So when this kind of things happen, there is a lack of kind of communication, because the left side still remains, we have this real life problems. And then at the same time, we are trying to imagine a new world. And then this sometimes doesn't work well connected. I mean, maybe it requires a kind of transition. There's such kind of gap I see. And also taking Renaissance as an example of these organizations who can support the Littlefish Foundation, how we will bring these individuals and organizations to each other. That's a kind of missing gap for me.
Yeah, when the system will be in the production, we will have a Ikigai engine. So Ikigai engine will identify the purposes and the best things the people do when they come to Littlefish Foundation. So we will have the text about the professions and what they love and what the other stuff, and we will send them to the AI. So we are experimenting on that one right now. AI will find the correct communities, colonies, or the individuals to form up new colonies or to join to the existing colonies for the individual. So after the Ikigai, the individual will find a way, find a place for himself in the colonies. And they will, if he accepts the reward sharing mechanism of this colony, he will join to the colony, and they will share the revenue or the funds they have together.
Yeah, all right.
So the people will be visible with their own values, not the systematic values like diplomas and other stuff. So the people who are working, who are experienced in their working areas, will be much more visible in the selection of community members, I can say.
Yoram, you had a question?
Yeah, no, great, looks great, great job, very nice story. Consider starting the story from down up, actually. So it also works quite nice, actually. So you come, and then you basically kind of you go from, if you read the story from down up, I need to go to, I see it in small, too small for me. But I think it's also a story because, I mean, people, care about, okay, you are here, then what you love, right? How you get visible, what you love, how you go to your Ikigai, and then how it's impacting, the society as a whole, and now you create a different society out of that, right? So that you make it much more simple for people to see how they are connected to that first. and then they understand how every person count, everyone, you know, coming together is important. Anyway, I just think it's also a nice way to look on that from that side.
Thank you.
And tell the story like from there.
And we could also have the glass ceiling that you can't get through on the other path. You can't go above it. Maybe that's a good metaphor. All right. Thank you, Jim. Any ideas, any comments on
welcome.
this? We can skip ahead to the next topic. All right. So
Before
next-
getting into the next topic, sorry, my wife is here. She wants to say hi to you.
Hi guys.
Oh,
Hi. Hi. I just wanted to say hello all around the world, just you wonderful people. I'm so proud of this man to be his wife, because I don't know that he knows we have a third child, because we can't see his face even in the house. But this is okay for us, because with you wonderful people, he wants to create a better world. So little fish, his ideas are always okay for us. We just miss him. I just wanted to say this on the weakness of you. But really, I'm so proud of all of you. Just wanted to be a better world. Me and my 3 kids, with all our hearts, we are with Little Fish, and I want to show you something. Even I don't know if you know Turkish coffee, but then after we drink our coffee, fortune, we have a fortune teller thing. Even in my coffee, you see there is a little fish. So with all our hearts, we are with you. Just a little bit time. I just want to be with my husband. That's all. Thank you for all the things. Thank you for all your hearts. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Doreen.
Well, the good news is that we are building so that people like him can spend more time with their families.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh man. Wow.
I'm scared of talking to Dilosh now, because I've been taking Jem's time away. I have some bad news for you, Dilosh. I'm so sorry. Just a little bit. Oh man, that was so sweet. Thank you, Dilosh. The next thing we were going to talk about is the AI art story that we were building. Jem, would you like to take this one, or would you like me to do it?
Yes, okay. Do you have some presentation about it?
No, I was just going to talk about it.
Okay. On the summit, we plan to have a video that explains Little Fish from scratch. And this will be a story, you know, stories tells everything. So instead of having the slides and other stuff, we want to release a AI generated video that we work on Dream Engine, and we want it to make an impact. So altogether, we need some prompts about it. And we need to be in a hurry, so we don't have so much time about it.
If
Sure.
these prompts will be created in 2 or 3 person, it will show 3 or 2 persons view, but we want all of us view on the video to be able to show them who we are, and what are we doing and what is our mindset, what are we thinking daily on a daily basis. So if we can all create a wonderful video for Summit, I will be so happy, because I will be the one who is turning these prompts into a AI art. And Jem will do the final work, and we are going to make a voiceover on it. And I hope it will be good.
So I'd like to give some context about this to those of you who don't know what we're doing at the Dream Engine. So this is the Dream Engine board, and we do these. Do workshops every 2 weeks. So next week we're gonna hold the next one. And what we do here is we kind of are building that AI art story, but we've just been exploring, discovering this idea. And what we did was we just created like proto prompts, and through those we created prompts to reach these images. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect all of these images. It's like it's zooming out as it progresses. And what we're gonna do is the video is just gonna be an entire zoom out of all these ideas. So towns forming, cities forming, new slaves working 9 to 5. We see loved ones only at dinner. We stick to opposites in cities, mega cities, rush, traffic, internet, and then awesomeness because little fish. And that's going to be the story that we show. So if we can build this like 2-minute video and a story on top at Summit, we're going to try to do that. And it's going to be awesome.
I have a question. Where it's going to be presented? First of all, you are confirmed that you are coming?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I just got my visa today.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. And where you want to show it? You want to show it in you're going to speak in the summit itself, or what's the or you don't know yet?
We will
For a weekend?
distribute it with our social media channels also. So
Okay.
and also we want to present it in summit if possible.
So we try to, okay, so it's important because we'll try to arrange that you speak in a workshop in the summit. Okay, so I will try to promote it tomorrow. I have tomorrow a call
Thank you.
about that.
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you, Yoram.
Yeah.
Once it's ready, let us know too, because we're putting together a resource for the summit to share with everybody about all the impact related stuff happening around the planet. So this would be a really good thing to include there.
Oh, yeah. So well, one thing after this is, so in the past 45 days or so, we've been posting a lot of actions in Discord, and so many of us actually generating actions, and it's kind of getting difficult to keep track of those. And funding is just about to arrive, so we're going to be making those fundings. So to make things simpler and to make things the little fish way, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new action generated from all our actions. And we're going to post that in on Discord. And just to make it super sweet, we're also going to write a little backstory. So if you've been here for the past 40 days, you've been doing quite a bit of things. I would want you to go back to see the things that you've done, collect them, just like you've been doing. Just collect them, curate them, but then write us a little story. Tell us what you did, and tell us why you did it, or just tell us whatever you want to tell us, and then post that into action, and then do that quickly because that's how we're gonna kind of do the payments with. So that's a good incentive to get you going, huh? So we're gonna be doing that as well, and hopefully, if those we're hoping those will bring out more visibility to the actions that we're doing. So we may even do more things with those. So write those stories well. Right.
I have learned a lot of new things thanks to Littlefish, because I have to. Is this counted?
Yeah, why not? You can tell that. He'll tell us that in the story.
I've just
specific.
learned them. I haven't used it. I use it on my own way, but I've learned them. Is it okay? I'm just
I
asking.
think I think that's great. Like, tell us what
Okay.
mattered to you in that story. Tell us
Mhm.
how it mattered to you. That is exactly what we want. All right, and I found the task that I created for this. So there is a task for this. You can just hop in and see the entire thing. So it doesn't need to just be what I said in this video. You can hop into that tasks. It's in the chat, and take that on and finish that for yourself, and then we're going to use that for the payment. So yeah. And any questions on this one? All right, sweet. Donald, he's gonna show us what the app looks like and what we've been doing with it and where we're at right now. So take it away, Donald.
Thank you, Jagan. Okay, this has been a tradition now, like we are doing it every 2 weeks. That's nice. Let me share my screen. Okay, so there isn't much obvious change actually like the last time, because most of the changes or the additions that we did this time are like minor and but they are significant. Like right now, if I refresh the page, for example, we have this new feature that has an infinite scrolling. Like every 8 pictures, it gets the other ones as well. And when you get to the end, it says like you have seen it all.
Donald, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like I don't think most of the community has seen all the changes that you made. Like the headline, Dream Engine, product management test, all of that. Like that's all new to everyone here. Like nobody's seen it except you, me, and maybe 3 more people.
Yeah, sorry, I get confused about that, like because we make so many meetings about it, and yeah, you are right. And now let me start again then. The first thing we did is change the design of the cards, of the action cards, and the motivation for that was that we wanted all the tags that show what kind of action this is to show on the preview, let's say. Now this is just a temporary one because Harsha is also working in some kind of design, like a better one for the action card, and it's gonna be much better like in a few days. Then we have this new, if you remember, this part in here used to be like you used to choose the categories and filter the actions according to those categories. We came up with the idea to make it like a navbar in here, and in this way we can see only actions that belong to this category. For now, in this part, we show only the 8 most popular ones, which are dynamically changeable. Like if, for example, some new, I don't know, new tag, say community gathering gathers up more actions than the others, then it's going to replace one of these in here. After that, we got this sorting, which is by mint, meaning like you have created the action, but it's not minted in the blockchain yet. This is reserved when you try to mint it, but you haven't purchased or paid the fee yet. And this is like in between. And then we have the minted part where the process is completely completed. Like it has been, the transaction has been logged on the blockchain, and you have an NFT on your wallet, like the person who has bought it. And for example, we have 1 or 2, 3 completed and some reserved. The reserved part stays on only for 15 minutes. I'm sorry, that's due to Tango Crypto, the API that we are using to communicate with the blockchain. Then yeah. Then we have this infinite loading. It was getting like the application, this page, when we put more actions into it, it was getting like really sluggish, and we came up with this idea to make it like infinitely loading, so you get to the point you want and that's it, like don't go any farther, so like the app doesn't get slow or very overwhelmed. After that, we have this searching, which at the moment is not working properly. I tried to fix the bug, but I didn't have enough time. It's gonna be ready like tonight, maybe. Then we made some changes on the colonies page. Now we did something like this. We are trying to, how can I say, we are trying to maintain some unity in design. And previously it used to be like for the users, the page would be different and for subcolonies would be different. And we came up with this design that make all of them similar to each other, so it doesn't confuse the users in the process. Now this is the parent colony that we call. We got all the actions that belong to the colony. Then we got the subcolonies tag, which has these subcolonies that we all know, like Dream House, Love House, Organization Labs, and Forge. Then we got the members part. Where in here are rendered only the people who are part of the Littlefish Foundation and who have applied for a users for a membership application, who has completed this field. So okay, let me go back. Then something new is this subcolonies part. This is also like we are going to populate these three parts, like associated contributors, people who have contributed to that subcolony, and how many actions are related to this subcolony, and the tags maybe that people may put in. And then we are going also to have like all the actions, the created action. These are on dispute, by the way. It's just a prototype. Like we haven't given a final decision on that as well. And in here we are going to have members. But for now, it is not working, and because the reason is when you create a new action, we ask you to choose the colony. And right now, the only standing colony is Littlefish. But we came up with a different idea about that. We are going to log all the little colonies, subcolonies, like below it, so people would choose as they wish in that case. So yeah, pretty much that's it, I guess. I'm sorry, we changed the design of the Littlefish's page, or called different user page. So yeah, I went a little fast. So
I told him 5 minutes as well.
Yep. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
So I had a small question. So what is the most important thing that a user has to do when he's on the Littlefish app? Is the first priority to find actions and reward them, or buy actions? Or is it to contribute actions, or is it to find colonies? What is like our number one like priority?
To see and understand what a colony is about. Just get an understanding of what is going on. That's the number one thing that most users, we want them to do.
So would you say the actions page would be the right page to throw at people who are entering the app initially?
I'm not certain. Like, we just put these out there. It seems to me that colonies page does that much better. Like the actions page would be like maybe a Twitter stream of all the actions that you follow, all the colonies that you follow. But at this stage, it is the exact same thing as the Littlefish colony page.
Yeah, if I may add something, like right now in this colonies tag, you see only Littlefish, because only Littlefish is like right now optimized about it. But we had the plan in the beginning that maybe other communities, other DAOs would join this kind of system, and they would create some kind of their own colony in here. And like it's going to be similar to Littlefish, but maybe Gimbal Labs, for example, I don't know. And when you go on into that, they will have their own set of information inside. Like maybe it's not going to be like Littlefish. Maybe they are not going to have subcolonies, and we are still working on that. And for just a little thing, just one more thing, like, because I don't know if I mentioned it in the last meeting, like we added this called slider, like when you can see multiple pictures that the user or the creator of the action has produced. Then we got also link support. Like if you put a link from the creation form, then it's going to appear in here. And if you put in any other PDF documents, for example, and you click on it, it's going to open it. Yeah, this is happening sometimes. Since we are taking them from IPFS, like it depends most of the time from the traffic in the region. I actually trained it again today, but yeah, it's not.
That's okay.
Let me refresh the page one more time. Yeah, so, okay. This is, and you can download. One more thing, the last thing I promise, when you want to see the full picture, like this one, for example, you just click in the middle and it's going to appear like this. So yeah, this is all, these are all the changes. One more, sorry. Like right now, it used to be here, like we used to have a get button in here. Now we came up with a better solution about that. Let's say that you need to purchase this this one. Just put in 12 ADA in here, create, and it is immediately in here. Like when you click on here, it sends you to the Tango Crypto payment page. We made this because it's more user convenient, like it's much easier. Like the previous version used to be very confusing. Like people would ask all the time, like, how is the sequence of things?
I have one more question, small question. What is the difference between get action, reward action, and sync action?
Now, when you create a new action from here, we ask you to put in a price, like how much do you want this action to be rewarded? Then we have this, we call it the like semi auction kind of payment thing. Like, and when you come here and you put in the price that you want to reward the action, it should be at least 10 ADA. Like, but if you want, you can pay more about it. Like you can pay 15, 20, like maybe you appreciate the work that the producer has done more. So yeah, that's the reason for it.
We may need some better wording there to make things more clear.
Yeah, first of all, the graphics looks amazing. I mean, the design and the art is bloody amazing, I think.
Thank you.
But then one thing about that is really about the flow. I mean, if you are individual or if you're a colony owner, right? And where you are coming. So yeah, I mean, you start with the action. I also agree to this, what Arash said before. I mean, if a new guy, right? If you are a newcomer, you start probably with your Ikigai, right? If you are a colony, you start with, you know, information for colonies. And then, or if you're looking for action, I mean, yeah, if you are looking for action, you already, or you are starting with the action as the key stuff. It's a really big question, I think, an important one. If you promote actions, hey, you can find your gigs, right? I mean, that will be one pitch to people. You don't need to know anything about littlefish. You just find your gigs, and you come and see, okay, this is my gig, right? And you go to actions. Or it's a service for a colony. Hey, you will help your colony be better with creating Ikigais, actions, or it's individuals. I think it's important question to start with, but it will define a lot the go-to-markets. I don't know if it's nice to say go-to-market, but it will be easier for people to see what's the growth strategy. Yeah.
You know, it may help, like, if you think about it, maybe like, this is my point of view, at least, like, this is an open thing, like anyone can think whatever they want about it. But my point of view, at least, is that we have this kind of better version of LinkedIn, like not right now, like the concept is better than LinkedIn actually. Like in LinkedIn, you put in your credentials and where you studied and what past experience you have, but there is no real say to say like, is that like, has that person really done all those things? Like there is no maybe certification about that most of the time. So in here, you have your work to show it, like you have your actions, and that's I guess it's like pretty convenient, because if you wrote a piece of code, or maybe you created some picture or some AI work, whatever, like you contributed to the community, then it's going to be here forever and it's going to be minted on the blockchain. So what's safer than that? So that's my point of view.
Yeah, I love this. It's really a beautiful way to say that this is eventually you will be able to say this is your LinkedIn of action, but how you get there, how you get to people to start putting their action there.
I agree. I also think if that's the reference we are going with in LinkedIn, where we are connecting people, right now our design is if you have you guys used JPG Store, because our design is very similar to it, and their objective is only one thing, which is to sell NFTs. If that is one of our objectives, I think it is smooth running for us. But if we have other education and stuff like that, then we'll have to consider rearranging the pages front and back. And one more question I had, I'm sorry, I'm like bombarding you with questions, but what we are providing is not a marketplace, right? Once I buy or get like an action, I won't be able to sell that action on littlefish, right? I'd have to sell it on JPG Store, right?
Nope.
Well,
No,
eventually
we are working on that
functionality. Yes.
Okay.
Right now you can't. You can only mint, which is what we have, but we want that functionality. Yes.
Yoram, I think I can answer your question. To make action, to people make actions, the colonies will produce, will release, I can say, call to actions. So individuals can join to a colony, or individuals can create a colony. When they create the colonies, they will have call to actions. And the members will respond to that call to action and create their own individual actions. It can be anything related to that action. It can be some sort of activism, or having a source code and developing something. And people can help this person with art. So Müjgan can add some AI art to that action, and it will go up in the actions category. So it will be supported by other individuals, and it will be more visible. So if an action is supported by many people, then it will be at the top. And the end user who is purchasing these actions will make a collection of the actions, and most probably he will select all the actions that he likes, and including the AI arts and other stuff. So this collection will be his personal record in the history. So he will be able to present it in his personal profile. And based on the actions purchased, we will put them in two separate parts. If the person, the individual, is earning money, it will go to earnings. And if the individual is supporting some SDG and other stuff, it will go to the other part. So we will try to have the balance of giving and taking in this personal profile screen.
Yeah, but no, I hear that. And I'm just saying that there's a lot of elements here, right, to scale it. I mean, I understand the use case, and yeah, I mean, just so I mean, the action is the one that lead the it's not the ikigai that lead the focus is on the action, and not on the ikigai, and not on a colony, on a Which
Well,
is,
for
I
now-
mean, I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the focus on.
For now, they focuses on like getting littlefish functional as a decentralized organization. If we can get like all the bright minds, all the awesome people in here, like working towards common goals in effective ways, if we can figure that out on our platform, and then we can scale it, like because we have figured it out inside this community, then it's super easy to, okay, here you go. This is the solution. You can use it. We used it on our own, on our side, and it works. And that may be Ikigai. That may be a part of it may be Ikigai. It may be actions. It may be the colony page that really works. And then that's the thing that we'll focus and build and focus our attention on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's basically what you say is, yeah, you have the right people here around the table, and let's think and try different things and see what works for us as a decentralized colony.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, it makes a lot of sense to try it this way.
And what's super important in this is just the first actions that we're gonna put on there. Like this version is almost ready for us to actually go and put stuff on there and then start playing with it. So once we have those actions that I talked about earlier in this meeting, we can just put those on there, and you have immediately, okay, what has Harsha done in the past 45 days? Oh, look at a story by Harsha. He did this and this and this. Oh, like I get the context. I understand now why he's been doing these things and how it connects to all these different ideas. And at least that's the starting point. And then from there, we'll kind of try to make that UI work better, try to make the action metadata work better. If we need to, okay, let's add an Ikigai, then we add an Ikigai. And then it's just like a use and make it better kind of thing. MJ.
Actually, I have an idea and I just wanted to share with you. I always see Ikigai as a base point and also as a tool. What if a user, I'm thinking myself as a blank user, I don't know anything about the littlefish and what is doing. I just heard from my friends, he's earning money from littlefish, and I download the app and open it. What if app will be preconditioned? It forces you to make your Ikigai first. And I'm adding stuff on my Ikigai. I like AI art. I like technology writings. I like podcasts. And after I add that, these Ikigai bubbles shows me the actions. Hey, you can love this action. Can you check Clubhouse as a colony? Because it's my passion and it's also gamified and it gets me. I'm a little fish and I'm hooked right now. I start scrolling down the app. Just to gamify things, just to get the user.
I think that might be just an amazing way to set up the application. You go in, you create your first action, which is your Ikigai, and
yeah,
then
you should start Ikigai first, because you are going to earn your money with your passion and the things you love and the things you like it.
No, but remember, like, to get to the Ikigai first, they need to know all of that. Like, first I am entering the thing and they're like, okay, spend 15 minutes like doing this, otherwise you can't enter app.
Yeah.
I would be like, no, don't tell
no.
me what. I mean, that's me, but you know.
No,
but
actually,
I feel like there'll be others like me.
Actually, like, I'm sorry, Lucas, you go.
We should I was just make a joke. Sorry, we should find a guinea pig, someone to bring to this call. Like 10 people can look at him and think, "Where do you go now?"
Yeah, we call those usability testings in UX design. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. No, but
Sorry,
it's a big different approach to start from an Ikigai approach, and it should not take 15 minutes, right? If we work on that and so on, it should take a few seconds. I mean, it should be. This is if you put your mind on that, you make it incredible. or to
And
start from an
reach-
action. Sorry?
And we can make it before seeing the action. Because if the person sees the actions and earned money first, maybe it's a person not interested with the Littlefish Foundation and not try to revisit the app because it's not understand the philosophy. It didn't get the philosophy, maybe.
And imagine that you know in Catalyst, I mean, we spoke about it. Everyone, you know what everyone likes to do and what everyone is good at. I mean, if you know that on everyone in Catalyst will need you for this information.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you become basically, and then actions associated with that. I mean, this is just one approach. I mean, there's not one approach, right, to that. I mean, there's many approaches, but I'm just saying, and maybe we should try different approaches.
Oh, we definitely will. Like I see Ikigai as the method to scale into Catalyst, like you say, for sure.
Yeah, and I also think Ikigai would be perfect to do if someone wants to contribute an action. So, let them explore free will. They can explore whatever. The moment they say, I'm ready to contribute an action, that is when I think it makes most sense.
Yeah, it also feels kind of like you have to put in some effort to be on the platform. I see that as like a bonus, at least at the beginning, because it like you need to put in effort. So you're aligned with what we're trying to do. You want to use it because it costs you 20 minutes. Like, wow, it's too much work.
And filling out the Ikigai, it could be the first action. Like that's sort of the prep thing.
Oh yeah.
That's the skin in the game, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
you've then you've done the first thing, and it really is a benefit. It is a value to sort of, because then you've onboarded into the community, you kind of get a sense of things. Yeah, the Ikigai is the first action.
And that could be like your profile as well.
Yeah, then it becomes your profile. Is sort of yeah.
I think. Sorry, Nemo. Please
Go for it.
Yeah, I think the individuals, the majority of the users will come with something that they want to see. For example, some kind of actions like SDG actions or activism, and they want to support their colonies with the app. And after that, they will check what's happening here, and we can at that time say, feel your Ikigai, not before it.
Yeah, when they want to create an action.
Yes, or they want to join some colonies or network organizations, or if they want to have a new organization for themselves.
So one way to make it easy, you can actually build Ikigai profiles, right? And people can choose their avatar, the Ikigai avatars. So they don't need to spend 15 minutes. They can spend 30 seconds to choose their avatar. And I mean, again, just if we start thinking of, I mean, we can start focus, but starting from actions, I mean, it's also interesting. Eventually there will be Ikigai actions and yeah, and then your page, your full page, your LinkedIn page or action page, but yeah. I just think the onboarding part, if we want to scale it, I mean, okay, one thing is to try it within a certain community, a colony, and that's okay. That's within Littlefish colony, everyone that is here already, we focus on the actions, right? Because everyone is here, everyone's kind of active. But if a new colony wants to onboard people, or if you want to onboard new people, should be a key to grow. So Ikigai will play an important role in that, right?
Yes.
I assume. Or the action. So either we need to bring a lot of actions, either we need to bring a lot of Ikigai people, and then there will be so many people in Ikigai that all the actions would come because everyone will want to get to these people.
The best case is like we build the Ikigai in parallel, and we're kind of starting that now. And we implement that as like a profile tool to market, and then everybody's using it. And then at some point we integrate that into the platform. And then it's super easy you're just using the Ikigai tool, and then, whoa, there's this new button. You press it. Oh, you're on the app. Oh, where am I? I'm a little fish. Oh, what is this? And this is like a super easy way for us to market this whole thing. So if we can build it like that, I think it should be relatively easy to reach out to Catalyst. Because as you say, like Ikigai is such an awesome tool. Everybody will love to use. How does that sound? Does that sound too optimistic? Yeah, it's easy. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not tricking people into it. But it's just making the complexity go into the background. It's just like, hey, you're just filling out a profile, and then yeah, it's like making it simple. And complexity, which is good, it's robust, it's like a biological ecosystem. It's complex, but it's built on little small tasks. Just the amoeba just eats and poops. That's all they do, and that's what a little fish could do. It's just it does actions, and it the Ikigai in the action, yeah. And then a complexity that is robust and resilient comes out of it.
So I'm also curious, in a world where, like, we are all looking at owning our own data, should we also give the option for people to want to share their Ikigai, or just like keep it for themselves?
They can be completely anonymous. And also, Ikigai is important because of that. Ikigai will point out the worst chains in an organization. So I want to show you the screen again. Regarding 8 forms of capital, we need to have some social influence. Maybe in some colonies we need materials. We surely need financial support from the members. Intellectual means the knowledge and the profession. Experiential is the actions that we made. And some spiritual or cultural currencies may be required too. So when people set up their Ikigais, we will know how social are they, and we will know how much do they have. So the missing parts will be visible to everyone, and people will see that one, the newcomers, and if the profession of theirs match to the chart here, they will join the system. This is also important when you look at from the colony side. So get visible means that both for colonies and for little fishes.
No, but like in general, all the off-chain data that we'll be producing on little fish, would it all be centralized, or would users have any control over their data?
Oh, we're gonna sell it all to Google.
And we only the people who are in this community meeting get the money.
We're all rich. We're all rich.
That's how we're gonna make money. I don't know how should we do it? Like,
in short, I can explain. Right now, we will use centralized servers, but in the future, we want to make it distributed. In order to make it distributed, we need nodes, and we want these nodes to be created by the individuals, not by us. So we will
Yeah.
give them our tokens if they open our nodes, but it's in the future, not right now.
And the SSI, the identity, the blockchain identity solutions should come on and really give us a whole new, path forward for this. Yeah. Cool.
And one thing that we can talk about in org labs, like this has been circling around my head, but I just couldn't quite get to it. So, and it seems just like an org labs thing to do. Like, how do you use Ikigai as a statement of your intention or a commitment? How do we build that in? Is that a good thing to do? So that's something that we can explore on Friday. With that, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, that's that individual statement of intention in a collective is the intention of the, that's sort of the littlefish. I mean, I think that's sort of the promise of a peer-to-peer murmuration, is that all of our individual attentions, maybe using the advice method of the, of the teal organization and self-management principle, is that our, in some way, the individual intentions, goals, and objective of the individual somehow propagates through the network, and then the network shifts into gear. That's sort of what I'm interested to see emerge.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. Like, we're the school of fish. We bring visibility to all the other fish. Now we can align. Now we can go to the same places. I set my intentions. I want to do this. Now everybody knows that's what I want to do. So now they can get in touch with me because they want to do something similar to that, or maybe complementary to that. And that's the idea. That's the idea behind actions and Ikigai. It just falls in line beautifully that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that these tools that we're building now can really facilitate that. That's why it's important to have, a public, so that that I can find, because I want to know about personal knowledge management and accountability, and then I can find people, other fish in the colony that that support it, and then as me and my buddy produce actions that are valuable and other people see it, then like the kind of the things start to happen from there. But then it also, privacy is an important part as well, like to so yeah, it's high, and just how is that normally done in other traditional social networks, hunter-gatherers around the fire, or like how, and then in our compare contrast, other blue pill side, what is that in a company? And I guess it has to do with centralization and power and hierarchy. So how do you do it in a peer-to-peer way? That's the thing, and those are, I feel like we're in the right zone.
And also, I think, go ahead.
I think we are one of the first communities to have experiments on that one, because nobody knows the answer yet. And while we are experimenting, we are having our infrastructure step by step. So we will find out how to work together and how to align and how to get the patient to top levels and produce great things. Mm-hmm. We will have the experiments. Yeah. This is what littlefish is for.
Yeah. I'm excited to do some Ikigai work. Actually. That's, because it has to do with becoming aware of what is inside of you, like a personal development. Because mostly in that other train, it's like figuring out what the world is. It's like, what does the world want? And then you conform to that. But to become aware and figure out what your own passion is, what your own Ikigai is, it's kind of a different skill set. and it does need like good facilitation, coaching, mentoring, structures, tools to make that happen in a well-defined way. But I think that it's absolutely key for keeping, keeping the lights on Spaceship Earth, keeping the life support system, because otherwise we just run right off a cliff because someone told us to. I do. That's what I've.
I really think what Newman said now is very important, because I mean, we went through a process, right, in the last year, right? I mean, it's a process. It's not that people come in and, I mean, yeah, someone described it good. It's a group of rebels trying to work together to make a better world, right? Because we are not happy from the system we are. And we went through a process to connect to the people here, right? And feel confidence and share private things and, be together and all of that. So how do we, and then it becomes very special. Then you cannot go back, right? Then you say, okay, I'm already here, how can I go back? So what Newman mentioned, this process, I think is very important and should be somehow in how you make, anyway, that's for me, because, we think a lot how we can create more and more catalysts or purpose-driven people, right? How we grow that. So more people, we're able to grow it all right. So I don't know, I don't have the answer for that, but what Newman said is a kind of in the way for that. So yeah, I like it a lot.
And coming back to that point about facilitation with Ikigai, if you need help getting your Ikigais done, Newman will help you on the Friday open office hour. So that's a reminder, if you need help, you take a look at Ikigai and you are excited, get in touch with Newman on Fridays.
Yeah. Or anytime.
Or anytime.
Mm-hmm. But I do hold this open hour where we just, we meet and we'll go through the sort of onboarding. It's a question and answer, and then we try to get you into that zone of thinking about what it is that is your passion.
Yeah. Newman, can we get a link to that real quick?
Sure.
Awesome.
It's just on the calendar. Ooh.
If I can say something, maybe in the future, like what Newman is doing, what if we like do it in an autonomous way, like let the app ask the questions, get the answers, and then feed the users what their interests are in. Like, those kind of quizzes you do when you apply for university, like what are your interests, what are you good at, and they give you a certain list of what you might be good at, like if you study. So yeah, Newman, you should take notes about those, like maybe we will need them to in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, or build avatars. Again, I think if you can choose avatar, because the Ikigai might change also over time, right? Doesn't have to be fixed. So
it's definitely changes.
Every time, and more you get into that, more you kind of come up with more Ikigai elements for you that you add. So it can be easy to start with your avatars.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, actually. The avatar is just like as a visual expression, as opposed to the Venn diagram, but an avatar is more, concrete, like that you would have like a picture of a person like holding,
is there a way to do it without stereotyping? Like the moment I think of them, I imagine like this nerdy, like big glasses, like without those.
That would be true. But just the idea of just maybe even just colors or, other, yeah.
Even just for working together, it would be cool to have like maybe like almost like, baseball cards where you have the person and then you have some stats, and not just Ikigai, but I think it's important to look at other things, possibly like Myers-Briggs type or your ocean score or some of these personality kind of things. If we're working together, it'd be nice to know that, oh, this person likes to work in this way, or they're this kind of Myers-Briggs type, or their Enneagram is type 7, or whatever that system we want to use. There's a lot of ways of understanding and working together that kind of could be helpful beyond the Ikigai. Is how do we work together as a community, and understanding each other's preferences and modes of working and things like that would be really helpful to kind of produce, and so we can study and learn from each other how we all work together best.
Yeah, exactly. And then in a wider sense, just language or time zone, like
Mhm.
just those, and then it kind of goes from there. If we sort of take like, oh, right, I have a preference of working, and my partners have preferences of working, and then we get into that zone of like, how do we make it, better? How do we make it easier? How to make it more productive, efficient? Yeah, and knowing that, and like kind of knowing that about yourself, and then knowing about and sharing that with the community. I think good things happen when that happens, and it can be really cool. I think that's what Harsha really wants. He just wants like really cool, like trading cards and stuff. That's what he's into.
And if you get to know the person you work with intimately or closely, you can't deliver a sloppy job. You have to do your work very properly because you have a responsibility to your community, because you know them, they know you.
Yeah, we had a small discussion with Nori about like peer pressure and how it can be good or bad depending on how far it's pushed.
Özgür?
Yeah, it's knowing them and then why you are here, right? Also, so why we are here at this time of at night or morning or so on, right?
Yeah, I mean, what brings us here, there are general things overall, and this goes through the stories that we are telling all the time. But at the same time, I feel like, one of the reasons that I lost a connection at some point is that this story is a kind of repetitive sometimes. So it is taking too much time, and we feel like, okay, why we need to sacrifice that much time from our family times, like Jem does. Okay, I think this is not a good image so much, because at the end we have families, children, other people that we would like to spend time. So recently I participated in a network. It's a business network, BNI. It's coming from the United States, but they became very successful actually. I have been trying to understand how they facilitate these online and face-to-face meetings. They are doing like this, only a minute for every person. I mean, they have other activities, several activities, but the way that they facilitate was so impressive for me. Everyone has a minute, but everyone, not someone is just laying down in the bed and listening others, but everyone had a minute, and they had to say what they want from the community and what they can offer from the community. So these two questions was basic, and I think it made the whole meeting so effective. So I think if we can run such kind of sessions, not hold meetings like maybe this meeting, but at least if we can have such short but effective meetings, I believe our way of collaboration will be more effective. I hope it is understandable.
Yeah, that sounded kind of like the way of counsel, right, Nori?
Yeah, that has lots of commonalities there. Although that might be a great way to start council, is to just use those two questions and answer them, and then, because it does give everybody a chance to speak.
Yeah, overall.
Which we have canceled on Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh, this Wednesday?
This
Yeah.
Wednesday, C4C
cool.
council is happening.
It is somewhere from the Catholics or just for littlefish?
This is
It's
for
C4C. C4C. I mean, everyone is welcome. Last time we had Gimbal Labs over, and everyone is welcome. It's really not related to C4C or anything.
Yeah, it's an offering to the community as a safe container to just talk about anything that's on your mind. And we know there was a lot of Fun 9 angst last time, so it was a nice place for people to just hear what other people are feeling and what they're being able to articulate what they're going through. And it just, yeah, we're trying to create this once a lunar month cadence of where people can come together and just have a safe space to talk.
Yeah, I applied for C4C. I mean, I have been observing all the time, but this time I said myself, maybe I can be more active and learn actually how it works. I was trying to understand how it works from the experience of the people involved there, but honestly, they didn't give me a good feeling. Actually, what they were not so impressive, and they were like, it is taking so much time and things like that. So this time I wanted to apply for it. I wonder if there is anyone actually applied for it as well.
Actually, I just want to clarify what you mean by C4C, and because
Okay.
it sounds like we may be confusing acronyms. C4C is Cardano for climate.
Ah, okay, Cardano for climate. I confused with this catalyst circle. It's C,
No.
right?
That's CCV4. What you're talking about, Oscar, is
CC.
CCV4,
Okay.
which is the circle version
man.
4.
That was so
Oh
funny.
boy,
That's
I was
good.
about to. I was like, oh dear, oh gosh.
Oh, I don't like those guys.
I wanted to say,
Oh boy.
it's human. It's all human
I
fault.
was like,
Oh man.
Sorry, it has been a while that I have been not participating.
it's okay, it's okay.
Oh, man.
It's good to see you here, though. It's been a while.
Yeah, for sure,
Thank
for
you very
sure.
much.
Oh, and which was that group? Which was that group that you attended? Is that something, you know? Did they do some other facilitation things that were worthwhile that we can borrow?
Business network, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's BNI. It's BNI. It's an international business network, not really coming from the decentralized world, but it is still, I think they are effective in the centralized world.
Yeah.
But we can, I think there are something that we can learn from them.
For sure, for sure.
All right. Thank you guys. I think this is a great way to great time to end it on. We're half an hour overboard. Sorry. Feel free to drop out of these calls at any point. Like we'll just ramble on. Thank you.
Yep.
See you, YouTube.
Yeah.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.